Spell her name to me one final time.
April.
Middle initial.
April, what's your middle initial, please? C.
We're getting the Narwhal song of all things. Narwhal, narwhal, swimming in the ocean, all kinds of crazy stuff. Page of Cups, seeing beyond the obstacle. Something about the very, very cups energy going on. A lot of cups, and formulations, oceany stuff. What's going on? Herbalist and the Crusader. Okay, this is about the herbalist. Oh, what a fine kettle of fish you like to mix up. What are you doing? You're a concoctioner. What is this for? And a rogue. I'm getting a rogue. It's like a concoctioner and a rogue. You know your herbs well. You know your formulations well. You know how to alter fate because of an herb concoction. Like this comes up sometimes when people do like slip 'em a Mickey or something like a sleeping draft, but it's more than that. This is summertime. Really, things are going very good right now. There's an agreement made. There's some kind of agreement made between two peoples, not two people singular, two peoples, like two groups of people coming together. You're sitting in the forest watching, observing it and going, okay, something's not right with this. It says Eight of Cups, but it's Sneaky Pete right there as plain as the day. You're sitting there. Somebody's on the sneak. Somebody's planning something shady as shit. It's the persons that are from the west. The persons from the west are planning a shady to do with somebody that's on the east. They're planning something that's not good. They're planning something suspicious, and you're highly aware of it. There's a meeting. There's something going on where the table is all set, and you know something's fucked. You know something's fucked. You go in, you knock something over. Burden's on you. Now this negotiation has gone badly. It feels like a territory dispute, so to speak. There was an agreement of territory. There's agreement of this is how it's going to go. And you go in there, you see that there's a territory dispute. You see something is ill-intentioned, and you're like, knocking it over. I'm getting very much like knocking over the poisoner's cup. You've meditated, you know, knocking over the poisoner's cup. You're not the only herbalist in town. You know what's going on, and there needs to be great change. Somebody's monkeying with things. Somebody's not coming in good faith. They pretend to be, but they're not. Now this is summer, then we go into fall and into winter. A new agreement is made. A new agreement is made between the two. What has happened? Somebody that is really like the right hand of the king, that kind of energy in this particular family, and I don't know that it's king necessarily. I just don't know how to describe it better. He's right hand man of the person in authority of the tribe that's on the west, and the king is aware of this. The king is aware of this event. The king is aware of why you knocked shit over. The king is aware of this. I'm getting Rasputin type energy. I'm getting this energy of like somebody that is enjoying his station close to authority, but oversteps the bounds. Yeah, the king's having him taken care of, done away with, fired and bye-byed. Exiled is what I'm getting. The person in authority had him exiled. Now what? That's even more dangerous. There's a return. What's this return about? King of the East says, yeah. And this guy's coming forward trying to say he can broker another deal. No. This guy needs to go. You know better. Are you set to tail him? I think you're a man in this life, by the way, if you didn't know. Yeah, you're a tracker. You're going to track this guy. You're going to know. Very interesting. You're getting herbalist crusader. I'm getting more like herbalist tracker. You track it down, you track it down, you track it down. This is like he's going every different kind of direction. Really villainous still. Really, really, this person wants to wield a lot of power that they don't have. Person from the west knows what's going on. This one kind of knows what's going on. But it's almost like you need the proof of what's going on. You put somebody in the camp with this guy. Close watch on him. He shouldn't have been let go. He should have been aced out of his job and out of his turn on the planet right there. There's a betrayal that comes up. He goes into hiding. Terrible, terrible stormy night. Terrible stormy night. Snuggles down, snuggles down. It's a terrible stormy night. Here he is again. He tries to get away in this stormy night. He thinks it's so bad everybody's going to hunker down and he's going to escape. He's not going to escape. His intention would have created so much damage, so much almost war between these two peoples that had good intentions going out. The good intentions are right there. Right there. The betrayal of the king was his intention, and you guys know it. This guy would never drink or drink drinks out of a cup because he would assume there's poison, but it doesn't mean that he wouldn't eat jerky or something like jerky, and it doesn't mean that that jerky would be good for him. There's something that's been, I'm getting a rattlesnake sandwich. I don't even know what that is. I don't think it's snake meat, but I think it's a meat that's been poisoned. Though he'll taste it, it's bitter anyway, but it's the jerky and he's on the run. And you've given him a taste of his own medicine. He's going to be profoundly done. Now the happy comes in. Now the happy comes in. This is deep, deep into winter, almost to the new year, almost missing the celebration, which was of a significant time frame. There was something going on astrologically that made this a significant time frame for this alliance to happen. The Eight of Swords, you're returning back to the king over here. King from the west telling him his problem is dealt with. Are you hired on for both tribes? No, you don't want to be hired on for both tribes. You never want to have to do this kind of work again. You didn't like it in the first place. You can see what's going on, but you didn't feel like your stuff was supposed to be presented for harm. It was required of the time. So you're not above it, but you would rather never have to be put in that position again. Never. You just want your freedom. You just want liberation and out of there. Wheel of Fortune. You just want out of there. You're like, just change it. Let me have my freedom. They want the traitor's head on a platter. You can't do that. You know he's long. His head has probably been eaten by wolves or some kind of crazy shit. You can't do that. You can let them know that he's dead, but they don't want to let you go. You set up a time frame that's like a 2-year time frame. If he doesn't return in 2 years, then they will believe that he is well and truly gone. The one king has trouble believing the other king, but that's what it is. 6 months go by, nothing happens. Summer energy comes in. There's a clear truth that people are getting to know your character a little bit more. The ones that are the foreigners, they know your character a little bit more. They know you're not full of shit. They have somebody else that's going out on a wander, somebody else that's going and checking the perimeters of the kingdom, checking the edges of the kingdom, knowing what's going on. I call it a kingdom. I don't even know it's official, a kingdom. It's just the perimeters of where these two lands and this agreement would be, where these people would come together. And this guy's checking it, and he sees. There's things that are discussed. There's treaties that are made. You get out of there a little bit earlier than what you planned originally. You're not so bound, but now you have to choose a new direction. Which direction do you go? You go overseas. You go away from that place. You have your freedom, but you go away from the place. You do have some anxiety and some stress, not because of anything that you've done, just because you hope they can manage without you, but you don't want to be put in that position. You don't have to fight all of their battles all the time. Yeah, this haunts you quite a bit. It was just, it was fair. You knew it was fair. You knew it was about the agreement. You knew it was what needed to be done. But you feel like you lost a part of your soul because of what you had to do. Overseas, it's better for you. Overseas, you do get a little bit of time where you're a little bit more grounded. You stand your ground, but you're injured. You keep to yourself a little bit more after this. You see people celebrating, you just keep a distance. It's like you go into not quite a hermit mode, but very, very observer mode. Just observing, observing, observing. You have knowledge that you share with some, but you don't share a ton of knowledge. Some of these secrets are lost. Intentionally so. Intentionally so. If people knew these secrets a little too soon, you have to be very careful with the information of who would actually have it. Because people could too easily take this kind of thing, and this wasn't a known kind of thing, but it's something that people, if they knew how to use it, they could easily find what it was to do ill deeds. You don't want that. Yeah, you go into high observer mode. There's some sort of widow that is like a widow that lives by the sea. She's somebody that's a good companion for you, good friend for you. She has kids of her own that are grown, but there's a good companionship going on. The betrayal of the past, it has no more place there. It's like it's being overcome, being overcome. Her past and the past pain that she's had, also overcoming that, it's been a burden for her. I think she was at the place where she didn't want to continue on, but when you came across each other, you did continue on. That's kind of sweet and beautiful. Yeah, there was a new start, and this feels very late in life. Very odd, but that's where it ends. That's what I've got. That feels complete. Holy moly. Yeah. So when you went with her, this older woman, that's when like a second chance came in, and it feels like you're damn near 50 when this happens. So you lived a long time, but boy, the guilt ate you up a lot on this. Even though the guy that you helped on his journey was a no good scoundrel, you didn't want to ever lead your life that way. Wow. That's what I got.
All right.
That's complete.
Woo.
Yeah. Holy smokes. It's like you know how to execute justice, deal with justice, put it down, lay it down when it needs to be done. But you don't like it when it gets a little bit ugly. And no one would. It costs your soul too much in that life. So, yeah. Because you're being required to do more than just advocate. You were required to mete out the justice on your own terms, and that's not what you feel comfortable with.
She put, it resonates with my life now.
No surprise. But okay, I'm always glad to hear that. I don't know why they do. They tend to do that a lot. So, yeah. Yeah. But I'm glad. I'm glad that there's something there that was in there that made sense to you. So good. Good, good, good.